Anyway, those are the latest releases from Impact Wrestling. Now, the next person who could be gone from the company is James Storm. Reportedly, his contract is up in January of 2018, which makes sense because when he re-signed with them, it was in January of 2016 for a multi-year deal. Multi-year could mean 2 years, it could mean 5 years. Apparently, it means 2 years because his contract is coming up in January. Now, it's no secret that he wants back into NXT. Now, he revealed on the conference call that I was a part of. We actually aired my portion of the James Storm interview here on the show a few weeks ago. So if you're listening on iTunes or WrestleRant Radio on nextwrestling.net, whatever, check out the archives. It was from early October when I talked to James Storm. Really, really cool guy. One of my favorites in Impact Wrestling over the last number of years. Anyway, though, he made it quite clear that he was looking at other options. He didn't outright say that he was leaving Impact Wrestling when his contract was up, but he said there's other things that he wanted to accomplish. And just based off his social media activity and just certain things, and not that he's saying like fuck Impact, but he left the first time for a reason. Like he was left out of the bubble, and he only really came back to Impact the second time around 2 years ago because he had mentioned in the conference call his wife was pregnant and he needed to be there for the baby, and he couldn't really do that if NXT was on the road. So would there even be a spot for him in NXT nowadays? That remains to be seen, but I think there could be. I think they can make an exception. James Storm is a really, really good wrestler. They could bring him in as a trainer if they wanted to. That was the rumor initially a few years ago when he first surfaced in NXT, that he'd be a trainer. But then he came in for a few matches against Danny Burch and Adam Rose, and then he departed off to Impact Wrestling again. But I would really hope that he's leaving. It looks like he is. I wouldn't be surprised, just because they haven't really done anything with him in the last number of years since he's been back in Impact. They reunited Beer Money, then Bobby Roode left. He didn't really do much last summer. He formed the DCC, which was a complete waste of time. He turned back babyface. Hasn't done too much since then. I know he went for the World Championship at one point earlier this year, and now he's forming an alliance with EC3 and Eddie Edwards heading into Bound for Glory, which we'll talk about soon enough. But he has just done nothing. James Storm has been a whole lot of nothing in Impact, and I feel like he does have a lot left to offer. He's in great shape. Why not just take off? Why not leave? It's not like he's going to be a main eventer ever again. If they were going to make him a main event player in Impact, they would have done it by now. Like, that's the point I'm trying to make. So it's time for him to go. Selfishly, I would like to see him back in NXT. That might not be the case now that his kids are all grown up. Maybe he wants to be there for them more often. That wouldn't really work out if he was a part of NXT. But in my opinion, I do think he is NXT bound. Time will tell, though.